I'm Jane.
And I'm Jen.
And we're SpielMill.
We sure are. And we played a whole bunch of new games in the last 2 months.
Yeah, well, this is about, not 2 months, but this is since the last time we did a video, our shelf of opportunity. And it's been about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
A little more than that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a month.
Yeah.
Maybe a month. Yeah, maybe. So let's just go through these in order.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Well, the first one's kind of a new game, but each version of this is kind of the same, and that's Micro Macro All In. And
it's the third one in the series, and it reminds me kind of like a Where's Waldo or I used to like those Richard Scarry books when I was young. There's this big map, and it's full of a million things happening on the map, drawn in like pencil, black and white. And there's mystery cards. There's like an envelope of cases, and you have to solve the case by following the clues on the map backwards to figure out what happened.
So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of it's fun, just like the other Micro Macros. It's fun.
Yeah, we really love these.
It's an activity more than a game. I mean, that's the main mechanism, is activity. You're just kind of doing it.
Yeah.
You're not puzzling anything out per se. You're just following characters around.
Right.
And I guess you are inferring a little bit from what they've done.
Yeah. But I really love this one. This is just such a joy for us to play. And we get hours and hours of pleasure out of each one. So hopefully they're working on the fourth, because we're almost done the third.
Yeah. We're more than halfway. So all right. What our next game is Twin Stars from Button Shy Games.
Yes.
And what did you think of Twin Stars?
I liked it. I thought it was a fun solo game. We actually kind of played it together.
Yeah, we played it together.
Which I really enjoyed doing. But it's a cute, clever little game in a wallet.
Yeah, I think it's a fun, challenging solo game. I played a couple on my own to learn the game, and then I taught it to you by playing it together.
Yeah.
And I played 2 of the scenarios. It was really fun. I mean, it's both the second scenario is more challenging than the first, which is what you'd expect, and they were both good.
Yeah, it's a little more involved than a lot of Button Shy games, in that you need to have dice and you need to have like markers to track levels of health, and you're trying to the scenario we played, you were trying to escape from a galactic jail, and so you had to mark where you were escaping the jail, and where the guards were if they were going to find you. So but it was really there was a lot there for an 18 card game. We really had a good time with this.
The rules did leave me slightly stumped, but Sir Thekos helped me out. Thank you, Sir Thekos.
Yes.
And watched one of his videos doing a playthrough. That's always very helpful when you get stuck, and especially some of the older Button Shies, I just find the rules were not
that's true.
clear, and I struggle sometimes learning them from the rule book.
And so we're trying to play through all of our Button Shy. We have about 130, because we've been members of their Patreon for years now. Yeah. And so Twin Stars was one of our oldest unplayed, and the next one was also an unplayed Button Shy, and that's Mint Julep. Yeah,
this was good.
Yeah, it's like a racing game.
It is a racing game.
Yeah, it's not like one. It actually is a racing game. Yeah. You've got horses that are racing, and then you've got cards that give you actions. You're drafting the cards. And they can help you move a horse ahead or move a horse behind, and you're betting on which horse you think is going to win. So
yeah, I mean, that's it. And it's clever though, and how it works. You play the different cards, and it's like they're vague enough that you get some control, but sometimes they're very specific, and you have to balance saving your really good card for late in the round or playing it early, and stuff like that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, racing and betting isn't my favorite sort of theme, but for what it was, which is a theme that I don't always get super excited about, it was a fun game. It's one, especially if you like that theme, if you like racing and betting and trying to kind of, one up the person that you're playing with and send their horse to the back, this could be a really fun game.
Yep. So it's a good one.
Yeah.
Mint Julep.
Yep.
All right, so the next one is more of a bigger game that we played, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yeah, this one has been staring at us, glowering at us on the shelf. Play me, because everybody loves this game. They rave about it, and
Oh,
it
it's
came
been nice
in.
to you. It was like, play me, you loser. I was like, what?
We love each other. Yeah, so this is a game that has had rave reviews. A lot of the other content creators are just crazy about this game. So it came in while Jane was sick.
Mm-hmm.
So we have not had a chance to play it. So we finally got off the shelf of shame, shelf of opportunity. And what did you think? I think we might have split a little bit on the opinion on this one.
I didn't like it at first. Well, here's the thing. I think my expectations were just a little too high going in. And I struggled with it at first. I just thought it should have been better. But I think it's growing on me. I'm also playing a game on Board Game Arena right now, which is helping a little bit. Just get another play in. I think, at least so far, the strategies seem a little bit linear. If that makes sense. So that would be my con, my general con, as to why I didn't love it. And I didn't love it. I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true about the linear strategies. And that's something that kind of limits for us, I think, the amount of play a game is going to get. We really like solving that puzzle and trying different strategies. And at some point you feel like, okay, I understand this game. I know how to win. It's just a matter of whether or not the right cards come out.
Yeah.
But I actually really quite liked it. I enjoyed the mechanism of the two different kinds of cards, some that are better in the end and some that give you powers during the game, and that the balance of how many you can buy shifts over the course of the game. So it starts with they're all the cards you need to play, and maybe one card out that's a sort of a scoring game card, and then it moves. It does feel limited. It's really hard to do more on your turn than the bare minimum. So basically it's a card drafting, or it's a card game. It's a deck building game. You're building your deck. You're adding those cards to your hand, and you can put out, like, I think it's 3 every turn. And there's a few cards that let you draw more cards, but it's just really tight. It's really, really tight and limited. It doesn't open up a lot. And I think that was one of the things that I found frustrating about it, but I did really enjoy it.
Yeah, as I said, we haven't played that many games of it, so we're still filling it out, I guess. So it could be a little bit of that, but I don't know. I'm playing game online right now with it, and we'll see how that pans out. I don't know.
That might change. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'm just thinking of the strategies that people are using in that game, and at least one of them's a little different than what I've done. So we'll see.
And we just got the expansion, so we'll have to add that in and see how that changes it.
Yep.
Yeah. The next game was a very good game that was not for us, and that is Innis.
We're Care Bears, so let's just start with the fact that we're Care Bears.
Yeah, and this is really a head-to-head battle for control of the map, and it's got a great theme. It's Celtic.
It's got clever card play.
Super clever card play, but it's just not a game that we're going to love at any point, because you're just beating each other up.
So we initially had this on our 5x5 because it's St. Patrick's month and Ish is Irish theme, so it seemed like a good choice. But after a couple games of it, we decided to swap it out for something else because we didn't want to force ourselves to play 5 games of something that we weren't super enjoying.
Yeah. So we'll probably be getting rid of this game. I just don't think it's going to be...
Not because it's a bad game, though.
No, it's actually a really good game. I can see, I can really appreciate the design of it and the card play. Some of it is really, really clever, but just not for us.
Yeah, I have someone in mind, actually, who might like it if they're accepting games at this time in their life.
Yeah.
I don't know what people's limits are.
Yeah,
so, but the theme ought to help. So, I think we should just give that away.
I agree. All right. Next, we have one we've been really excited for its arrival.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Joan of Arc, Orleans Draw and Write.
Yes. So this is a roll and write based on the game Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it plays very much like Orleans, or
Mm-hmm.
at least it has all the elements of Orleans in it. It's obviously a roll and write, so it plays a little bit differently. Like in Orleans, of course, you have your own bag and you're building your own bag. In this, you have a shared bag, and it could have been a deck of cards. You're just drawing a certain amount of tiles out of the bag.
Yeah.
And it's a fixed distribution.
Yeah. And so we've implemented this at our chair situation, so we can play from our own separate spots, and we can play when Jane's having a bad day. If you don't know about this, go back and check our adaptive gaming videos. But we have this all implemented on a spreadsheet, and we just have our sheets in front of us. And I really like this game a lot. It really has a lot of the feel of Orleans. Now, given the choice, I'd play Orleans any day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah. But again, when if you're having a bad day, you're not feeling well, I'm tired after work, we're just not going to make it to the table to play table games. This is a very, very satisfying roll and write.
And it's quick to get played,
Yep.
I mean, like we wouldn't have to get out the box and set it up.
Right.
It's pretty simple to set up and play.
Yeah. Yep.
So we have it built into a Google spreadsheet for the cards and the tokens, and so we just do it that way, and we share that screen to the TV, and then we play it that way. So it works out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Makes it really quick for us to get to the table.
Yep. Yeah. So that's kind of our setup. So that helps with my limitations, but I thought my earring was missing for a sec, but no, it isn't.
Yay!
So, that's Joan of Arc, Orleans Draw and Write's pretty good. It's if you like the play of Orleans, you like roll and writes, I would definitely give it a try. It's definitely one of the better roll and writes we have. I mean, it's very good. So, I would say the one thing with 2 players is you're supposed to go through the bag equal to the number of players that many times, and there's a certain amount of tokens in the bag, and it seems like we should go through the bag like one more half time.
We did.
Well, we went a whole time, and that was too much, but we haven't gone like a half time.
Okay, that's what, and I think that's what the last time we played we discussed. We wanted to do like another half bag.
It's just because it feels like I don't do quite enough just based on 2 bags, and maybe I'm not playing optimally. You can tell us, but I think it could be a little more optimally played. I had this issue with Azul Queen's Garden recently, where I felt like I was not filling in my board as much as I wanted to be able to.
Right.
So,
and I understand tightness in a game. Like I'm all for that. I love that challenge.
Absolutely.
But there's a line between tight and just unsatisfying.
Yep.
And this kind of fell on the side of unsatisfying, which is why we house roll it and play it a little bit
Right.
longer.
Not that the game's unsatisfying, but it's not. The experience is not as satisfying as it feels like it could be, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right. So the next one we played was on the 5x5, and we did play it 5 times, is Glen More II. And this is another one that jumped out at me the same way Lost Ruins did. I didn't love it at first.
Yeah.
But we added the Chronicles in.
Love it.
It went up.
Yep.
It went up.
Exactly. And that's the case with a lot of games like this, is that the base game is super simple and it's really sort of the lowest common denominator. Yeah. And it's fine, but where it really sings is when you start to add in those extra modules and you can do more with the game. And we're greedy gamers. We want more. We want like the most out of our game we can get. And Glen More, until you add those extra pieces, we have an expansion up there that we haven't played.
There's more Chronicles.
There's more Chronicles. Okay, well, so that's fair.
I believe that's what that is.
We haven't finished the first set, so that's okay.
Yeah, so we have more to play. Did we play it 6 times?
We did.
We played it 6 times instead of 5. So on 5 up, we played it 6 times. Can we count that? Well, you'll find out in a sec why. A little bit later.
Yeah,
we'll talk about one of our other games.
So you go around and, basically, the theme is amazing. You're making whiskey. Or collecting whiskey, or your whiskey makers. And you're going around a track and the tiles really kind of are filling out behind you. And so you're creating your landscape. You're putting in castles and you're putting in farms and you're building your engines. And every time you lay down a tile, all of the tiles that are near it produce.
Yeah.
And, which I just love that. I love that. It's such a...
it's neat. Yeah.
Love it. Satisfying engine builder.
When it goes well, it's very satisfying.
When it goes well, it's really satisfying. So it's very thematic. It's beautiful. The art is beautiful. So I'm really pleased with this.
Was it hard to catch up if you fell behind in this game? I feel like maybe
Are you asking me that? Wow.
I'm asking both of us.
I know.
What the hell?
I just lose a lot of games.
But not this. You did pretty well in this.
I think I did pretty well in this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I won the first 3 or 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just asking, sort of like.
It is.
It seems like, if you get an early jump, excuse me, if you get an early jump, you have an edge. That's what it seems like to me. So
it does. Yeah. There's certain.
I mean, I guess that's true in all games, but you know what I mean, like. Where it's really hard to come back from.
I think this is one where it's viable to come back. It just depends on what tiles come out, what you're able to do, because there are some overpowered tiles in this. I will say that. Yeah.
There was one, the Castle of Bay, I think it was called. And that was super overpowered. In fact, I went on BGG and I saw at least a couple people discussing how overpowered it was. But not as much as I expected, because it was insane. It was like, first of all, it comes out in like in tier 4, so it comes out late in the game, and then it lets you activate every tile in your kingdom. Which at that point, unless you've played an in-depth game, you've got a lot of tiles to activate, and that easily could turn into 30 points, which is huge.
It did for me the time I played it. It was like a 30-point swing.
Huge. Like, that's a lot of points. In that game, I was like set up to win that game, I think. You come in with this 30-point tile, and I'm like, you can't get 30 points in any other tile. What the hell is this? And so, like, that was a bit weird, but
it's a bit,
we house ruled it after that so that you could activate the tiles around it twice, which was still powerful, but not quite as extreme and overpowered, because that was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. It's too much. I don't like that in a game where, like, there's one tile that's like, oh, guess what? You win no matter what. Nobody can do anything to catch you anymore. That's it. I don't like that.
Unless we're doing something wrong, there's no way that's not overpowered. But so I didn't like that too much. Our power just went out.
It's very windy.
Okay, so, well, we still have lights. We'll keep going.
Wait, one light.
Yeah. So if you plug it into your...
Yeah, but then we won't have a mic.
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind.
Well, we'll be in the dark for...
Okay, so there's a lot of daylight coming in, so we should be fine. So anyway, back to our program. So anyway, that's Glen More II.
Yep. So next we have 2 more button shies. One and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you want to call this. We'll do it together. Skulls of Sedlec and Skulls of Sedlec Draft and Write. They're really the same game.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, yeah, they're slightly different in how you position your tile, how you get what you score, because in one game you're drafting cards and then position them in your pyramid. That's the standard Skulls of Sedlec.
Yep.
And then the Draft and Write, you're still drafting cards, right? But you're
filling out a grid.
You're filling out a grid. That's right. And but both versions of Skulls of Sedlec score the same, and exactly the same. So, and that's where the kind of the puzzles comes into play.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good puzzle. It's not a super deep puzzle.
Yeah.
But it's for an 18 card game.
It's fine.
Or with a postcard on the Draft and Write, it works out really well.
Yeah. I actually think I like the Draft and Write better, simply because it's about what what you want sometimes from
For a roll and
for
write.
us from a chair game or for a roll and write. It's pretty simple. It's something that we can play when, again, you're not feeling well, it's after work and I'm exhausted, we've had a bunch of games and we just want to wind down with something. It's just about that right level. And so for me, that's why I like that roll and write version better, or whatever it is, flip and write, draft and write, because it fits that niche for us.
Well, I think the card play is a little more interesting in the card game, of course. But yeah, I don't think there's that big a difference. So
yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both worth playing. I mean, they're good games. They're solid games. They're a little simple. Is probably the only critique I could think of.
Yeah.
So
okay,
I enjoyed it.
Skulls of Sedlec, and our next one is also a button shy, and that is Turbo Drift.
This was kind of fun.
This was fun.
It was long though. It was
was
long, but it was fun. You're just literally moving cards across the table based on other cards, and you draft the other cards. So you have some control, but it's amazing how your eyeballs mislead you.
Yeah, I did not expect to think much of this game. Car racing, not our favorite theme, but man, this was good. And I had one situation. So you pick up anywhere from 1 to 3, or actually you could do 6 as well.
No, you can't do 6.
You can, but there's a rule about it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you pick up anywhere from 1 to 3 cards.
I don't think so.
And they have like tire tracks on them, and then you lay them back to back, so that your car is taking that path, and then you take them off. You put your car at the end of them, you take them off, that's where your car is. The next round, you do it again. There was one point where I ended up, my eyes really deceived me, ended up having to go in a circle to get back on track. And I still managed to win the game. It was really fun. I really liked it.
That's because I did this.
Yeah, because you had a similar situation where you ended up doing the same thing. I really liked this. This was really fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I'd like to play it again. We only played it once because it is a little bit longer, but we'll play it more.
Yeah, definitely. This is, I think, just really unique for us. This had a really unique feel. Yeah. It feels a lot different than a lot of the other games we play and like, but it was maybe long for what it was, but it was still pretty quick. And so I really like this. I think we'll do this a lot.
All right, so that's another button shy. One more. We have one more.
One more.
Numbsters. And so Numbsters is a play in your hand game. If you've heard of Palm Island as a play in your hand game, it's another one of those where you just hold the cards in your hand. You could also lay them out on a table, but you in your hand, and you try to. There's rules in how you can either use the special ability on the top card, or if you have the number 8 with 2 numbers around it that are consecutive, so 13 and 14 say, then 13 eats 14. And so you discard 14, okay, and 13 stays. But if you can use a special ability in the front card, which will be something like a single digit even number can eat a double digit number. Yeah. So then 13 and 14 are good. Now the one other thing you can do in your turn is you can move a card from one place to anywhere else in your hand. So you can move a card up to the front that has a special ability, or so there's lots of choices. It's pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, it is pretty fun.
We played it cooperatively once to teach you the game. I learned it on my own, and I won the second game, so I thought maybe this is really easy, and then I lost like 3 in a row.
Yeah. I think it's very clever too, and I love the pun. Why was 6 afraid? Because 7, 8, 9, which is what this is based on, and the art is cute. They're little monsters. They're Numbsters, and the envelope is pink. This was a clever game. I only played it once, so I don't know. I'll have to get it back to the table again, or not to the table since it's in your hand game, but get it back into my hands again, and give it a try. But I think this one has a lot of potential. Yeah,
it does. So, all right. Well, the next game in our list is another game that we put on our 5x5 challenge for the month, and because it's St. Patrick's Day month and all that, and it's Irish Gauge, from Amable Holland, and
we've had this one sitting on our shelf of opportunity again for a couple of years. And I think last St. Patrick's Day, you were not feeling well and we didn't play games. So we've just been waiting. So it was really exciting to get this on the table.
and it's a 3-player and up game as part of the challenge. But someone came up with a 2-player variant, which worked.
Yeah.
We played it, and it's a good game. It's a very good game, but it's very cutthroat, and more cutthroat than we like.
Yeah.
And so it didn't work that well for us. I think I won all 4 games that we played.
Probably. I think you did.
And it just seemed like there is a little thing where the games get a little samey after a point. And so there is that, but it is interesting. Like, it's got auctioning, and you're trying to control the stock, so it's got that sort of rail game thing going, and trying to get as much money, make as much money as you can, and it's enjoyable. I mean, I think it's really good. I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think I really enjoyed the first 3 games. The 4th game, I just kind of felt bad because I was beating up on you a bit, and then we never played the 5th game yet, so we don't know if we're gonna do that, what we're gonna do. But we have it as our 5x5 challenge, so we really should. On the other hand, we played 6 of Glen More.
Maybe we'll get in 6 of AM then too. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's the last game on our 5x5 challenge. So we'll do a video around our monthly challenge. And we decided after this to shake up our monthly challenges anyway. We've done 5x5s for January, February, March. And we're going to do something different for April and May. And it's kind of exciting.
It is very exciting.
And we have something very different for June, July, and August, which we'd already planned. But...
Yes. And we'll talk about those later.
Yep.
So the next game that we played, the second to last new game on our list, was Wits and Wagers.
Now, we played this at a friend's house. We don't have this.
We don't have this. It was a party game. It was our, but it was our first play of it. I know it's one people talk about a lot, so it was the first time we got to play it. I also lost badly at this game.
Did you? It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You basically have a difficult question. Like, I don't know, what's a good example? In what year did something happen, and you have to guess, and people say 1800s, or
they give you 4 choices, right? It's multiple choice.
No, they don't give you 4 choices. Everybody writes down on a dry erase board what they think the answer is, and then you lay out the dry erase boards, and then you bet, and you have 2 chips to bet with, a $200 chip and a $100 chip, and you bet on which choice you think's the winner.
And it's like the Price is Right rule. So the closest to the number without going over
is the winner.
Is the winner. And, you know, if you had your chip on the winner, then you get a poker chip. And if you were the winner, you get a poker chip.
Yeah. And then in the last round, you can wage everything. You can wage whatever you want. You can wage the chips you've won.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and it was. I would say it's a fun game. It's not a spectacular game, but it's a good party game.
Yeah, it is a good party game.
Enjoyable. So, we did enjoy that.
Yeah, we did.
So even though you didn't do well, apparently, I don't remember you not doing well.
Oh my God, I had like 2 poker chips at the end.
I had like 4.
Yeah.
I think I finished with 2 because I bet most of them.
Yeah.
Because I was like, go in, and then my secondary bet won, but not my primary. Yeah. So, you know, that's how it goes. Yep. So that's Wits and Wagers. And then our last game, which we just finished playing 5 games of. And you want to start on this one?
Yeah. I lost every single game we played, but I love it. This is going to be up there with Bunny Kingdom of games that I love and I want to play a lot, and I never win.
And that's Obsession.
Yep.
I thought we should say the name of the game.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I was like, I want to talk about it.
I loved this game. It's so thematic. It's really fun. And, you know, I remember when I backed it on Kickstarter, the designer was so nice. I'm glad we finally got it to the table. It's just nice to, I don't know, nice designer, great game, very thematic. We like the thematic. I love the thematic choices. It reminded me a lot of Downton Abbey, where like, oh, we're having these guests come, but we're short of footmen, but then we can sub the under butler for the footman, or whatever we could do. All those choices. I don't know if I think the under butler would be a footman if they wanted to. Yeah. So like, you did a lot of that kind of stuff, and trying to please the guests, the Fairchilds, and you know, you're courting people, which you know, this is a great Valentine's theme. Courting.
It is a great Valentine's theme.
So for future, but yeah, this is a game that's absolutely in my top 100, but we're doing our top 100 right now, and the list is done.
I know.
So it's not going to be in there, but it is a top 100 game. It's a top 50 game.
It's a top 50 game for sure.
I just don't know where it would fall, but it's definitely up there top 50.
I'm going to bet it's top 25.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance.
But,
It is so good. It's definitely top 50. I don't want to commit to top 25.
We just love the theme, you know, buying buildings or rooms or activities to add on to your estate, and like a tennis court or a smoking room or, you know, a French garden, and having, you know, attracting these guests that give you prestige and reputation and money. And
had a nice table presence overall.
it had a really nice table presence.
The cardboard was a super thick cardboard on the tiles. The tiles felt very satisfying to pick up and put together into your estate. It was nice, and I like how the flipping mechanism and how tiles are different on both sides, and you really wanted to look at both sides before you bought them to be like, does that meet my needs? And like, oh, that does what I want once, but when I flip it over, it doesn't really do what I want. It's interesting, and there's a lot of decision making to do in the game. It's a high scoring game. There's a lot of points.
For some of us.
Oh, you too. You were high hundreds, but like.
But it is, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I did do better, but you know, I don't know.
Anything where you're pushing 200 in points is generally kind of a high scoring game, I think. Yeah. There's a number of ways to get points. The first game we tied, and damn it, I lost because you had
the tiebreaker.
You won the tiebreaker. Oh, damn it!
That was probably your best chance.
I know, it was my best game.
It was a terrible game, though. We were both terrible. We were like 108 points.
Yeah.
It was just we didn't know what we were doing yet.
No, but this is a winner.
And we got to incorporate the upstairs downstairs expansion, which added the houseboy, the useful man, the head housekeeper,
the cook,
and the cook, and
the hallboy.
I said the hallboy, I think.
Okay.
Didn't I?
I don't know.
But if whether I did or I didn't, it is important to mention.
Yes.
So yeah, and added more tiles, added more cards. I thought it made there's variants in the game that are kind of essential. Like we played, I think it's I don't forget what
Bronte or Dickens.
No. We played with the Dickinson variant, which is you roll a die and it determines where in which round it reveals what the Fairchilds want. I like that because you wouldn't always know.
Right.
Necessarily. You might be guessing, and that's the game sort of simulates that very well with the Dickens variant. We never played the Bronte variant, I think. I confused the different variants. We played one of the variants where you discard a tile at the end of every round from the market. That was pretty good. But there is another one where you discard all the tiles in the market after every courtship. And we didn't do that one.
Yeah.
That might have been good. We talked about doing it, but we never did it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that is our list of new games that we've played in last month. And just briefly here at the end, let's talk about what we're doing next month. So
okay, so this is ambitious.
Yep.
But we are nothing if not ambitious. And we've done something close to this before.
Yeah.
So we know we can do it. And that is
30 games in 30 days.
30
new
games. 30 new games in 30 days, 2 times each.
Yep.
The 2 times each might be the hardest part.
And these are not light games.
Some of them are.
Some of them are. But we have like Ark Nova on there, Planet Unknown, or whatever it's called.
I think Planet Unknown's a medium weight, so that won't be too bad.
Yeah.
We have some light games like Oh My Goods and Snapshot. And then we have Ark Nova, like I said, Dead Reckoning, which is pretty heavy. So
we really enjoyed doing the 5x5s, but we found that we were just like playing nothing but those games, and we wanted to kind of maybe dig into our shelf of opportunity a little bit more, again, after the last 2 years of not playing a lot of games, or 3 years. So we've got 2 months where we're going to kind of do something like this and see if we can whittle down the games that we have been dying to play and get them on the table.
Yeah, if all goes well, in April and May, we will knock more than 50 games off of our shelf of opportunity, which would be a dent.
It would be a dent. Just a dent.
Just a dent, but a dent. And
maybe take the side mirror off, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than a little dent, but it's our list is quite large because of not being able to play games for a while, but we kept buying them and stuff because we're board gamers, and we needed dopamine to get through a difficult time in our lives. So we do not regret any moment of it, except not being able to play them.
Yep. And now we're going to do it.
Yep. So now we're going to work on it. It's just going to take a little extra effort, but it'll be fun. We love learning new games.
We do. All
So
right.
this will be fun.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with we'll chop up our new games into more than one video. If we're gonna
I should say in that mix we have 5 old games that we're going to get back to the table as well.
Yeah, well that's May, but
that's May technically, but
we'll see.
We could do it in any order.
Yep.
So one of them's new to you though, and that'd be Tigris and Euphrates, because I've been meaning to teach that to you.
All right.
So.
Well, thanks for joining us today, and remember, every day that you game
is a holiday.